Apple Watch Series 3 4K subscriber giveaway. Get subscribed. Let's do it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel for the first time. We got back from our storm excursion. It was a long few days. So we're back to the mulching job that I started last week and got chased off of because of having to go do generators. So we're back here now. Got down here about 3 hours ago. We got about 3 hours run time in. A few stops here and there because of people needing to get out the road and whatnot, but we did pretty good progress so far. Of course, I got the 2017 F550 Power Stroke. I didn't need to bring this truck down today. I could have brought the 350, but I brought this truck because it has everything I need, you know, toolbox wise. Everything inside there, saws, wrenches, everything. You know, this truck is dedicated to this machine, so this just makes sense to bring this down here. And to be honest, this is easier on fuel than my 350, the V10 6.8 gas guzzling pig. But let's jump in the truck and I'll show you what I got done so far today. So this is exactly where I started earlier today when I got down here. So this is about 3 hours run time. Obviously you can tell the difference from the right side of the road to the left side of the road. Put my seatbelt on. This road was very overgrown. It was overdue. Vehicles are scraping, coming out. It's extremely thick spruce and fir. It chews up pretty good, but where it's so thick like that, and some of the small stuff, some of the big stuff actually does better because there's more sturdiness to the tree. Some of the small stuff where it's softwood and it's so small, it just kind of lays over. It makes it a little bit harder to mulch up, and then you got to get really close to the ground to try to mulch it, and you end up, you know, hitting the gravel, hitting rocks, and dulling your teeth up fast. So even though small stuff, you know, is obviously typically easier to grind up, it can actually be a bit of pain in the butt compared to, you know, some decent sized stuff. But I'm doing this side first because with the mulcher, there is always a way that works out better as far as keeping the chips off the road, because you basically have sort of like a load side and a discharge side to your mulcher. The side where the chains are, that's where it's going to throw all the brush. But so there's the machine. So that's what I've got done so far. Pretty good for, you know, 3 hours runtime, that's for sure. You think about doing that by hand, and you would not have anywhere near that much done if you were doing it by hand. You would have to, you know, cut it and then chip it. Cutting it's no problem. You know, you can go along with a bush saw. You can get a lot done in a hurry as far as cutting goes. But it's the chipping or the you know, removal where it takes the time. And as far as trying to remove this much brush, it'd be a lot of loads, that's for sure. So there's the machine, the 2017 KX080-4. It's my second full year with the machine. FAE 125 mulching head. I've got the chipper teeth on right now. I've definitely done some mods to this mulcher to strengthen it up. I cut this whole top plate out that was only 3/8 steel and put this 1-inch steel plate in there because the whole mulcher was starting to bow, and then it was popping this basically off, and see how that gap is there. But I definitely sturdied it up. I did a couple other mods to it to strengthen it up and make it last better. So we got her working pretty good now. But I'm just taking a little break here, stretch my legs, and then we'll get back at it and start grinding stuff up again. And here's where we are working. Quite spectacular, eh? I could see a house up there sitting, listening to that every night, going to sleep. That's for sure. So you see me remove some very large trees with this mulcher on some previous videos when I was up in New Brunswick, taking down some like 35, 40 foot birch or popple. So the machine can definitely do that for sure. You know, you gotta knock it off somewhere though, and then grind it up. But it works really good for, you know, shoulders of roads like I'm doing right now. Just clearing the roads back. I am nowhere near on top of my game as far as operating this machine goes. I played hockey last night, and the game before us started late or went late. Something happened anyway, and we didn't get on the ice until like 35-40 minutes after we were supposed to. And it was around 1:30, 1:45 before I fell asleep. And then I got a phone call at 4 a.m. from a technician because they had lost power at a site. He needed to get a generator in, and he couldn't get in because there's too much snow. So I had to try to find a contractor at 4 o'clock in the morning to get the site opened up for him. So I spent about 45 minutes on the phone, got that all arranged, and then, you know, it was, might as well just stay up now. It was 5 o'clock then, so I just made some coffee. Stayed up, started actually to edit a video. So I'm pretty tired. And also Wendell is at the doctor's office right now, having the surgery on his knee. So that's on my mind. Some people might laugh and say, yeah, you know, he's a pet. But sure, he's a pet, but to me, he's a member of my family. And you can't help but to feel a little bit nervous. And just, you know, dealing with the whole situation of having to separate the dogs and, you know, sort of having to be around as much as I can the next couple months, because he has like a 2-month recovery before he's starts to sort of get back to himself. So I'm pretty shaky on the controls right now. It's definitely not my smoothest day, that's for sure. But anyway, yeah, so I mean, you've seen this thing grind up some good sized trees. And here we are, just in some thick brush, really. Does a pretty good job. You can see that it's quite quick. It would be a bit faster if I did switch the teeth around, but this is good enough. The teeth are still in pretty good shape. You know, you just think about doing it this way versus doing it by hand. And like I said, by hand, yeah, it's, you know, it's pretty easy to cut it down. You get a couple guys that are good with a bush saw, cut a lot pretty quick, but then what? Then you gotta chip it, or you gotta haul it away. Either way, it's gonna take a lot of time. You know, this is cutting it and chipping it all at the same time. Now, it might not be as neat, as clean as cutting it off, but also with that, it grows back much slower when you mulch, because it essentially like beats the tree and it bleeds out, and it takes much longer for it to grow back. So it can be definitely more cost efficient from a contractor perspective. It can be more cost efficient from a client's perspective, because it's more cost efficient for the contractor. You know, you got one guy in a machine versus 3, 4, 5 guys with saws and chipper. So you're paying all that, you're paying all those wages, you know, 1 or 2 trucks for fuel. Labor adds up very fast. A lot of times the most expensive thing about a job is the labor. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, this machine wasn't cheap, and you know, the maintenance on it, and then you know, you gotta buy a truck to float it around, trailer, so it's not cheap. Like, the upfront costs and the operating costs still aren't cheap, but you're very versatile. I can take the bucket off. You know, let's say I was down here doing this, and all of a sudden a guy said, hey, can you come down and do some excavation work for me? Can you put the road in for me? Can you build a rock wall for me? Yeah, sure. I'll take the mulching head off. I'll put the bucket on, and I'll get that done for you. So there's many, many, many advantages to having an excavator with a mulching head versus a bunch of guys with saws. Well, fellas, that's it for today. Just leaving the site, heading home. Got a call from the vet a little while ago saying everything went really good with Wendell. He went through it perfectly and he's resting right now. Pick him up this evening and take him home. Deal with a very, very groggy and confused dog with a cone on his head. So the rehab begins, and like I said, it's gonna be a change, that's for sure. I'm already sort of feeling sort of sad that I'm gonna be missing my other dog because she's not gonna be around as much. But I just got the wood stove hooked up at the camp yesterday, so I'll take her back there with me a few times. You know, through the week, maybe we'll spend 2 or 3 nights a week back there, and you know, it is what it is. Get him fixed up. He's only 1.5 years old, so get him fixed up, get him through it, and be one big happy family again. Anyway, guys, don't forget the 4K subscriber giveaway. The Apple Watch Series 3 is up for grabs. I know we're not even at 1,000 yet, but dream big or don't dream at all, eh? So 4K sub giveaway, Apple Watch Series 3. In the meantime, doing a 1,000 sub giveaway for a hat, and looks like my hoodies should be ready in time. So we'll see. But for now, guys, take care. Thanks for watching. Keep the comments, keep the chatter going. Everyone have a great day. Stay safe. See ya. Alright, boys. So here's big boy Wendell. I'm not going to talk too loud because I don't want to disturb him too much. Just want to let him rest. But here he is. He's doing pretty good. He's pretty groggy, pretty tired, pretty sore. It was a long night last night. First night they say is the worst. He's got a pretty good gash here, so it's, for anyone wondering, it's an ACL injury, and they did the TPLO surgery where they actually cut the bone and rotate the bone. So it's pretty intrusive, but yeah, he's doing pretty good. Anyway, guys, there's a little update. Wendell's journey.